M plus tier list update for patch 12.05. Hey guys, Petko here. We have been having a lot of changes for the past couple weeks, and with that, obviously, the tier list will shift. Some classes will go down, others will go up, but as I promised you today, on Sunday, we will make a short update on YouTube. Enjoy, and as always, make sure to subscribe for more information and don't miss any future updates. Okay, starting with the C tier, as you guys have seen, not many things have changed for Fire Mage and Devastation Invoker. I feel like both outputs right now are poorer compared to the rest of the specs. That's why they retain the C tier. Hunter, they have attempted to buff Hunter, but honestly, even after the minor buffs they received last week, I still think Hunter is in a quite of a disadvantageous shape currently after the rework in 12.05 patch and the Hydra build change. I feel like Hunter is just in a pure shambles. Right now, both Survival and BM are miles ahead of them. So that's why I believe all these three specs deserve to be in the C tier. Moving to the next one. Okay, so first of all, before you guys attack me about Blood Decay being B tier, I played Blood Decay myself recently. And after the most recent adjustments on tanking, if you guys haven't seen that, it came out 2 days ago. Mostly all tanks got adjusted. You get to see Blood Decay still on the very bottom. They're most definitely the one that are struggling right now with. If you're playing casual level keys, you can play anything you like and you're gonna be fine. Both Blood Decay and Holy Priest right now are considered the worst performers based on the data we have / information we got available. Arcane Mage as well, there's been no changes for Arcane for the past 2 months. They have been completely forgotten. I feel like the output of Arcane is somewhat okay. However, it is currently the squishiest spec in the game, averaging, I think, roughly 30% more deaths than any other spec in this game, which honestly is a not surprising thing to see after the massive nerfs they received in defensive profile. Destrolog, quite strong AoE damage, very poor single target, pretty much non-existential prior damage. It is completely pad spec in my opinion. There is no reason to play Destro. Affli is better, Demo is better. Skip on Destro for now. Moving to the A tier. Okay, so things here become very interesting. Now, onto the A tier, we've seen a lot of specs that got changed, and I'm going to speak about each of them individually. However, my emphasis here is going to be on Frost Decay and Enhanced Shaman. I know you guys expect you to see both of these specs in a B tier, but after the most recent buffs, I feel like Enhanced Shaman is right now not to be underestimated. I've played with several Enhanced Shamans in a somewhat hybrid comps, and they actually did pretty well for the most part. Like, I'm not talking about, exceptionally OP, but they did pretty fair, which I'm quite happy with. Definitely behind Elemento, but they are getting closer and closer to the specs on the A tier. Also, they have Sky Fury and a very good utility, so that all of this combined together makes them a good choice overall, not a crazy one. Balance Druid, very much underrated spec on the high level keys. I still think that you are definitely behind on mid level range keys, but the higher the key goes, I feel like the balance becomes better and better. If you are playing Brewmaster tank and if you don't play with a Restoration Druid, balance would be a great choice. Obviously, the Feral Druid right now is considered better pickup, specifically talking about these physical comps where Feral benefits a shit ton from Brewmaster / Warrior buff, but I still think balance to be good. No changes for Havoc DH, no changes for Frost Mage. They've only got nerfed 2 weeks ago. No changes realistically for Sub Rogue for the past couple weeks. I think Sub Rogue, once again, extremely strong rogue spec right now. I feel like very much underrated. Their single target actually looking to be pretty great in Mythic Plus. Obviously, I was a bit of a doubter early on Sub Rogue, but I definitely am taking those words back, and I think Sub Rogue to be a quite good choice right now for Mythic Plus. Whether you play physical combo, hybrid comps, I think they can play anywhere. Same thing with Asarok. I feel like Sub Rogue is definitely better when it comes down to like average level keys. Then the higher you go, the better Asa becomes, just because prior target damage for them means a lot more into the equation. Hence why I believe if I'm playing high level keys, I'm gonna go Asa. If I'm playing like, not the highest keys in the world, I'm gonna go Sub or Outlaw for sure. Both benefit less from physical comps compared to Outlaw Rogue. Keep that in mind, okay? Frost Decay, I think Frost Decay, once again, they've got 4th consecutive buff in a row and are now doing a lot better than what people think they are. One thing that I have as a Frost Decay issue-wise is that your sustained damage is definitely not on the high end right now. Every 2 minutes you do exceptional burst damage. but your minor cooldowns just doesn't hit it as much. Now that's why people prefer Unholy, a lot more streamlined spec in my opinion, and currently better than Frost Decay. Although in the raiding, we've seen a massive swap from Unholy to Frost Decay in most of the boss fights, which I'm not really surprised to see that. And I think that's everything here. Commentary for ATR, nothing else I want to discuss. Windwalker Monk, once again, I still think is doing quite well. You know, definitely thumbs up. Moving the box a little bit up. Let me check if I can. No, I cannot. Well, we're gonna bear with me, guys. Okay. Well, I can't. I'm just gonna show the rest of the specs. Fuck it. All right. So the rest of the specs on A+ tier. First, let's talk about A+ tier. Then I'm gonna talk about the rest of the thing. El Shaman. I think El Shaman is likely the weakest in this A+ tier. Does less damage than Survival, Beastmaster, and Affliction Warlock. However, the utility of Shaman is definitely better than all these three. Hence why I'm placing El Shaman ahead of them. But if you're looking for pure output, these three should do better. Why is BM here? BM got buffed 2 times in a row. I think BM Hunter to be on par with Survival. They're both very strong right now damage-wise, so definitely thumbs up. I'll definitely pick those two instead of Ellie if I'm looking for damage. Affliction Lock. Why is Affliction not in B tier? Affliction got buffed. Way better single target, even better AoE damage. I still think the ST is problematic for the most part. They should have given a larger single target buff, but I would take anything. So far, so good. I love how it plays out, and honestly, it's quite easy and spammy. Thumbs up. Tank tuning. The tank tuning of Protection Paladin and Vengeance DH makes them the 3rd and 4th best tank right now. I think in some cases, Vengeance can be better than Protection Paladin, but keep in mind, Prot Paladin needed the durability buffs. They got it, and right now, they have the damage, they have the utility, and they have the, well, you're still squishier than the top tier tanks, but one idea better. Hence why I think A+ tier is a pretty generous placing altogether with Vengeance DH sharing the 3rd spot for the best tank so far. That's about it. Clearly, Holy Paladin and Discipline Priest are ahead of Holy Priest and Press Evoker, and behind Shaman, Mistweaver, and Restoration Druid. Pretty much output-wise, they are behind. Overall, utility-wise, they're both very strong right now. I love Holy Paladins and Discipline Priests in general, but they are definitely behind when it comes down to output right now. The Dark Horse. Why do I think that Dark Horse is in Demonology favor? Because Demolog actually does close to similar output compared to Unholy Decay and Devourer DH in Magical Comms or Meta Comms, but unfortunately Devourer DH does provide better utility than you have as Warlock. And now in the comments you're gonna tell me, yeah, but what about curses and hellstones and this and that? First of all, Devourer is tankier than Demolog. I know you guys are gonna find it weird, but I sincerely believe Devourer is tankier than Demolog. Also, 3% more magical damage for the entire group goes a long way. It might give you 20, 30 to 40 seconds in each key, which obviously is a massive advantage for any group looking to push the highest keys in the world. Now, another thing, Demolog kicking is horrible. They don't have double interrupt anymore. You've got one singular interrupt, which sucks donkey balls. So that's another reason. Less mob control compared to Devourer DH. Overall, I still think Devourer is stronger, but if you are looking to play a lock, damage-wise, you are to be expecting to do similar to what Devourers can do. I think in some cases even better than the case. It all depends on the kill levels and how you pull. That's why the Dark Horse. Also, no group buffs. That's unfortunate. Speaking about the S tier, I think currently Guardian is better than Brewmaster. It definitely does more damage. More damage translates in more time saved, which means high level keys, which means Guardian is likely to replace Brewmaster Monk as the best tank in the game. Hence why Brewmaster Mistweaver comp is gonna rule the highest of the keys right now, because simply Mistweaver does more output than Restoration Druid, and also they share different utility comparison to Restoration Druid plus Guardian Druid. That's why people didn't play Mistweaver with Brewmaster most of the time. They played Brewmaster with Restoration Druid because they have unique toolkit, unique utility, which gives you more speed time. I think Guardian Mistweaver is better. Brew plus Restoration Druid likely second best. However, why do I have physical comp above A tier? Because I think this season, for the very first time in a long time, we have two back-to-back close to meta comps. One is physical, one is magical, and magical comp you can play Red Paladin, Death Knight, and Arrows Warrior. You can play Arrows Warrior, Pharaoh, and Outlaw Rock with the Restoration Shaman. I think the Restoration Shaman likely the second best healer right now, outside of the. Well, if you don't play physical comp, then you're better to play Restoration Druid, but if you're playing hybrid comps or physical comps, Restoration Shaman is definitely the winner, in my opinion, the second best healer right now behind only Mistweaver right now. That's it. I think the Distribution Paladin is mostly picked up in hybrid comps. In a full physical comp, people prefer Pharaoh, but in hybrid comps where you have Death Knight, you go Death Knight, Arms Warrior, Retribution Paladin with Restoration Shaman. I think that's it so far. That is the update. Once again, this is mostly for like pushing high level keys. If you are playing your average level keys, once again, a massive disclaimer, you can play whatever you like. All of this here matters none to you, and this is mostly applicable for people that are pushing the top tier content. That's pretty much it. Thank you once again for watching the video, and as always, I will make sure to update you in case there are more class changes. Season should be still available for the next 2.5 months, give or take, so we should see probably 1 or 2 more class changes. That's it. Anyway, follow for more, and I'll see you guys next time on stream. Bye for now.